Hey everybody, this is Mike Ferguson and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you like today's guitar lesson, don't forget to like and subscribe because there is a lot more cool stuff coming your way. So today we are going to check out a band called stonedjesus and their song Blackwoods. So let's dive right in. This song by stonedjesus is a great song if you are a beginner guitar player. It has a nice slow tempo, so I think you'll be able to play along with this song quite quickly. Normally, this song is tuned in a drop C tuning. That means that all your strings are tuned down one whole step, and your low E string is tuned down two whole steps. If you just started with playing guitar, it's very difficult to tune down your guitar this far because it's going to go out of tune and you actually need thicker strings to keep the tension on the strings. Otherwise, the tuning is just going to go all wrong. So I won't recommend that. So this version I'm showing you is a version we can play along with in a regular standard E tuning. Remember, not all the chords are going to be exactly the same. We're not going to have that really low C in there. We're going to play the low C a little higher up, but it's going to sound fine. It's not going to sound out of tune or anything. So it's a very good alternative if you don't have the capabilities of tuning down your guitar, or if you don't have multiple guitars to put in different tunings. All right, so let's check out the riff. Let me just play the intro riff one time and then we'll break it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that last note is a C note. And they're playing that C note one octave lower, but we're just going to play it right here. It's going to sound fine, and we'll be able to play along with the song in a standard E tuning. Okay, so now let's break that riff down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and let me just play that twice in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and. Okay, so we have 3 parts with 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Then we have 1 part with 1, 2, and 3, and. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and. All right, just count along with the riff, practice that. The second riff is going to be exactly the same as the first riff, only played with power chords. So we're going to have an F sharp power chord on the 2nd fret of the low E string. And we're going to have an E power chord starting on the open E string. All right. Now the C power chord is going to be right here, starting on the 3rd fret of the A string. Place down your power chord. But to get the sound a little bigger, we can also add our low E string. So we're barring the low E string on the 3rd fret of the E string and on the 3rd fret of the A string. So we're adding that E string to the C power chord, which is going to be fine, as you can hear. So don't worry, it's going to be out of tune, because power chords are made up of two notes. And in this case, it's going to be a C note and a G note. So this is a C and a G, and our pinky is another C. So that's an octave from this one. Right, now, when we're adding that low E string on the 3rd fret, we're adding a G note. So that's going to be the octave, the low octave of your ring finger. So it's still going to be C and G, but we're just adding that extra G in the bass to make it sound a little bigger and a little fatter. And that's what we need because we're missing those low tuned strings. But it's a good alternative when you're playing along with the standard E tuning. All right, so let me just play that riff one time. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, it's sounding pretty big and heavy, so that's going to be a really cool riff to play along with when you're starting to learn those power chord positions. The second riff is going to be a combination of a melody and the last part of the power chord riff. All right, so this is going to be the first melody because we have a couple of slight variations. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And then we're going to play the last part of the power chord riff. All right, let me just combine those two. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the second one has a little variation. It's going to sound like this. 3, 4. All right, so check out the tab. And so it has that little extra note at the end right there. So for those of you who know a couple scales, this melody is actually in the F sharp pentatonic scale. Riff number 4 is what I consider the chorus of the song. So we're going to start with some open power chords. It's going to be a B power chord, starting on the 2nd fret of the A string. But now we can also add that low E string in there to get a little more bottom and heaviness in the chord. Again, with the A power chord, we're going to start on the A string, bar the 2nd fret of the D string, 2nd fret of the G string. Again, we can add our low E string in there to make it sound a little bigger. So we have the B, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, and last part of the power chord riff. Repeat. 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4. B, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3. B, and A. I'm going D power chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. G power chord, and back to the power chord riff. right, nice and heavy. We've reached the point where they play the fast riff. This riff is going to be a little bit more difficult than the power chord riffs we just did, but remember to practice it slowly and gradually build it up, and then you'll get there. Let me just play the riff a couple times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's break down the riff. We're playing 5-5 on the low E string, then hammering the 5 to the 7 on the A string. Then we're playing a hammer pull 5-7-5 on the D string. If you're not too familiar with hammers and pulls, just try to play this. Right? In the beginning, it's going to sound a little like this. Right? Because you want to mute those high E strings with your index finger, so you won't hear them when you're pulling off your ring finger. Okay, so we got this. Okay, then we're going to do a pull off and a hammer on the A string, 7-5-7. Right, so we got this. Okay, and then we're going to end it on a 7 on the D string. Slowly, we have this. All right. Now, the second part of the riff is going to sound like this. Okay, what we're doing is 5-5, 5-7 hammer on the A, again 5-7-5 pull off on the D string. Okay, so we got this. 7 on the A string, and then 5 on the D string. All right, so once you've gotten this down, you can actually play a little power chord on the with the 5 on the D string. Just lay your index finger flat on the D and the G string. And you can also play that. But no need to do that right away. Just try to get the finger positions down. So again, a couple times slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last riff of the song is basically going to be played on an A power chord with an accent on the C power chord and an accent on the G power chord. So the A power chord is going to be played on the 5th fret of the low E string. The C power chord is going to be played on the 8th fret of the low E string, and the G power chord is going to be played on the 3rd fret of the low E string. So the riff's going to sound like this. The fast version is 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, the slow version is going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope this video helped you out. It's a great song to learn your power chords, especially the first part of the song is fairly easy, and I'm sure you'll be able to play along with that song pretty quickly. The second part of the song is a little bit more difficult, but just remember to practice slowly, build it up gradually, use a metronome, have patience, take your time to build it to where you want it to be. Patience and practice is the key, So again, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, because there's a lot more cool stuff coming your way. And have fun practicing this song, and I'll check you guys later.